We've been on a little break, but we're back in time for the IEM Qualifiers, plus Rift Rivals and the GFinity semis. You're watching the Podium. G'day gamers and welcome to the Podium, where we take a look at the biggest hits, epic takedowns and classic comebacks from across the world of esports. I am joined recently back from Japan by one Mr. Joe Gilroy.
I am, and far removed from his trip to Japan is Bo Yushai.
I looked at your photos from afar and they were magnificent.
Like, did you have your phone away from you?
Yeah, no, I'm short-sighted. So.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, but what wasn't short-sighted was the action that we saw across the world of esports.
That is a fantastic segue.
Well,
yeah, let's just, I'm going to save this for you because I know I've thrown you off. IEM Shanghai Qualifiers, that's what we're kicking off with. We saw Greyhound doing everything they could to get through to Shanghai, and they managed to do it. The Greyhound, performed beautifully at IEM Sydney, and they had to go through two other teams that represented their Chiefs and Order on their way through. Order first, then the Chiefs. We're going to have a look at the highlight of Dexter acing Order. It was really good. Let's have a look now.
And of course, we know that there isn't. But he's got that Mag 10, so he's gone on a little expedition here. Spots out Liaz. This is going to be the go signal on the other side of the map as well for Greyhounders. Going to be popping all of those utilities out, and Dexter is presented with two. Alistair and Sicko lining up for him, but he might get a third as well. Mag goes down. Dexter doing a great job on the entry right now with the AK. He looks like he's going to get an ace, and
Gee, he makes it look easy, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, and against amazing competition. I think that's, one of the great things about professional CSGO is how good everyone is, and you still see clutch plays like that from guys, like Dexter on Greyhound, and it was really awesome.
Yeah, so the boys will be off to Shanghai, playing at the China Joy Digital Expo going on over there, which I thought was an amazing name. So can't wait to tune in and see them in action in China later in August. So next up, we've got more action from League of Legends with the Rift Rivals tournament, which was going on while we were away. As you would expect, there's a lot of great action that came out of that, but some particular contests that you thought we should have a look at here.
By the time they got to the finals, I guess the idea of Rift Rivals is regions pick the three best teams, and those teams sort of rotate through. I think we spoke about it before, likened it to Street Fighter 3v3s.
Yep.
And that's, by the time we got to the finals, it was Team Southeast Asia versus Team Oceania, and OPL were representing in the finals. They were the strong favourites to win, and things didn't go their way. Game one went the way of Mineski against Direwolves. Game two looked like it could have gone either way. It was Legacy versus Ascension, and eventually, Legacy had a lead and they lost it. They sort of frittered it away, and Ascension managed to get into a position where they were going to win.
Yeah.
They managed to, go 1 for 4 against Legacy, and there was literally just one player left, and they were marching on the base, and it was up to the team captain of Legacy, Claire, to do something. Let's have a look at the highlight.
Tries to reposition, but that was beautiful by Ascension.
I think this may actually be enough time for them to keep pushing. G4 wants to find Claire. Claire has to do a miracle amount of work right now. Stop them from ending this game. He needs to stop them and somehow not die.
Well, he puts the bubble down. He's going to try and get a kill. Claire!
He's still doing it, Claire, if he can deal with Rocky here.
Oh, that damage is dirty. Lloyd's chasing him. Bubble's connected. Claire's going in. Can Claire get the shutdown? Lloyd's alive. He's burning out. Claire, that was beautiful.
Claire now in a 1v2 gets the recall off. He may have just done it. They needed a miracle. He gave them everything and more. He saves the game.
Well, if you want a captain's knock, that's it.
Staggering. That was like literally a miracle. He had to. It was all skill shots, and he had to pull everything out to make it happen, and he did.
Yeah.
And I think fantastic. Yeah. It's brilliant. It was beautiful. A little bit after this highlight, because highlights are limited. We don't want to sit here for an entire 35-minute game, but a little bit after it, they managed to finish the game off. They finished off the ace and won the game. It was crazy. I was actually back the day of, and the crowd at the State Theatre was hype as balls. It was fantastic.
But that wasn't the only action we saw from Rift Rivals, with another Aussie team, the Chiefs, having a bit of a close matchup with KLH.
Yeah, like they had to, you know, the format as it was blind, but we all knew that Chiefs would play against KLH. It was close to begin with. The Chiefs quickly stretched out ahead and managed to dominate. And it looked really good for, well, OPL basically.
Yeah.
It put us up 2-1 once they managed to win that game. And being that it was a best of 5, we only needed to win one more game. So going into game 4, again, it was blind. In the crowd, we didn't know who was going to play. But if you were watching, you knew Mineski had actually won a game. And Chiefs are coming off a very hot game against KLH. So, yeah, game 4, Mineski versus Chiefs. And Mineski started exactly the same way they did against Direwolves. It looked worrying, a little bit worrying. Yeah. They got first blood, and it looked like they were just going to bully the Chiefs all over the place until the Chiefs answered back, and it was an absolute brawl. It was a 32-minute long slobber knocker. It was fantastic. The clip we're going to watch is Ryoma getting a pentakill, 5 kills, all on the other team, all in a short space of time at Baron, and that was all they needed to finish off the game. Let's have a look.
They will instead turn onto the Baron one final time. Swiper
He's still behind them.
just going to try and keep them busy. This time has the ultimate available. In fact, all the ultis are up. Swiper will be spotted out finally, but the Baron is still falling down. 4,000 health. Paranoia will be hit. In goes Jun with a big ultimate health. It gets blown up.
Junglers
and they're
are dead.
trying to go for this. Junglers are dead, as you mentioned, Rusty. You can see Hemo Plague is there. Will it pop? No, it will not. Exosen goes in.
Baron.
They just want the Baron. It's on 500 health, but the Chiefs
That's a Quadra.
wants them. That's a Quadra. Looking for the pentakill now is raised. Will they get it, Ryoma? Will they give it over to him? Yes, they will.
got the
Ryoma
penta.
picks up a pentakill.
And the Chiefs get the Baron buff. They get a pentakill. Teleports coming towards the middle lane.
So there you have it. It's great to see our local teams doing so well. And you were saying that, you know, with the different playing styles, you know, early on they're a bit tentative, and then, you know, with some of the other matches, the Aussie teams wouldn't kind of finish things off when they had the chance. Like, do you think that comes down to the playing styles of those teams? Do you think it's an inexperience thing? You know, what do you think like led for those openings for the games to kind of open back up when it looked like we were actually going to, you know, kind of finish things off?
You know, I think if you were to compare Legacy's game versus the Chiefs, and in particular, you know, Legacy's wariness, I think that was actually down to the fact that Legacy knew if they lost, the Oceanic side would be in a very, very desperate place.
Yeah.
We'd be down to nothing.
Yeah.
And it'd be really hard. We'd have to reverse sweep to win.
Yeah.
The Chiefs had the luxury of knowing that they had a game. And so, you know, the confidence was there as a result.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, you know, hard being that they are directly different teams. They are enemies outside of the Rift Rivals.
Rival clubs, yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, the fact is the teams managed to do it. OPL managed to do it. Oceania managed to do it. And we won. Rift Rivals Pacific, which is awesome.
No, it is. It's amazing. And, you know, that's the learning experience from it. It's like now, you know, next time around, you know, they'll be able to take these learnings from them and build on that success, which is fantastic. Exactly what we need to see down here.
It is, yeah.
So now coming back a little closer to home, because it's played right next door to our studio, the GFinity semi-finals were on this week as well. It's been, you know, a fantastic league to watch. So it's, you know, we're coming into the playoffs now, and wow, what a matchup over the week! Bit of a surprise result.
The massive upset. I mean, the Chiefs have been dominant all season in the Rocket League, and you know, they are the most dominant Rocket League team in Oceania. And they lost to Avant. Staggering. We'll go straight into the clip of Avant managing to secure game 6 rather.
Overtime, game 6.
Pause, breathe.
Why should we?
No, you're right. And Chiefs, have they done enough here? This is still potential for Avant to win this series.
That's not good. Melbourne Avant, it's angling towards net. Hits wide and Corsus plays slow with it. Sammy's there. The rebound is there. Shot doesn't come through. Blitz waiting on the right wing. He goes over the ball. Sammy rebounds it as well. Melbourne Avant is pressure hitting home. We're not sure. A drip bait hits into Blitz instead of the ball. Sammy's there for the banger. Denied. Zen again. Cross field. And Torsos just gets it out of there, but Sammy's waiting here, Jim Nesso and Melbourne Avant. The shot there! There he is! He's done it! He has beaten the Chiefs! Sydney Chiefs!
Just before this clip started, again, you know, the nature of highlights, but yeah, you don't see it. Avant were up 1-0 with 6 seconds left when the Chiefs managed to tie it up. And I mean, knowing the Chiefs are as good as they are, that would be disheartening.
Yeah.
It'd crush me. I'd be done. I'd quit. I'd walk out.
Yeah. But good thing they didn't walk out.
Exactly.
Because they stormed back to take the game and then move on into the finals, which are coming up this weekend. So
Coming this weekend, yeah.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was fantastic. And
yeah, and we've seen lots of great matchups throughout the course of the GFinity series. You know, with some surprise results, you know, mixed in there. So it's, you know, it's not like there's expected results every week. You get and then the semis.
Yeah.
We get this Avant, you know, coming through with the goods.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it counts.
It's awesome. I mean, Avant had a really rough start as well, in the Rocket League in particular, and to come back. I mean, I think it speaks volumes to the growth of Rocket League as a scene in Oceania, and I think that's awesome. Yeah, I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I'm stoked for the boys, and yeah, I mean, it's cool. We're going to see new great Rocket League teams in Australia and New Zealand.
It can only mean great things for both our own teams and the league itself. So yeah, a couple of weeks off, so even more great action over those 2 weeks. But as we just mentioned, the GFinity Elite Series goes into its grand final matchups this weekend. So there's, you know, some of the best action we'll see. It's been an amazing league with, you know, unexpected results, like fantastic competition across the three sports. You know, what are you expecting out of the weekend? Are there any surprises?
Surprises? I don't know. I hope, and this is nothing against the Melbourne Order, but I hope Melbourne Order don't win all 3 titles because they're from Melbourne. And
hey, we love you, Melbourne, but just don't win everything.
Sydney's the home of eSports. I mean,
yeah, it's, you know, 2 Brisbaneites speaking here, but they've had a great season in all 3 facets of the league. You know, yes, all the power to them for putting in the hard yards, but just, you know, maybe.
If you want to start a competition based on regionality, don't get upset when I get mad that Melbourne is going to win everything. Yeah,
well, who knows? We've seen so many, you know, we saw an upset over the weekend. There's been upsets throughout the season. So you've got to tune in to find out. So this weekend's the time to do so on Twitch and on Channel 10 Sunday mornings.
True.
So, tune in. And then next week we'll cover it all right here on the Podium. See you then.